Hey, welcome back to Beer Geek Beer Reviews. And today, man, it's been a long, hard, hot, end of the summer day. Now that it's getting into fall, everybody's starting to see all these pumpkin beers, and that's one of the things that I've been trying to do. Um, you drink all these things, man. Sometimes you can get pumpkin beard out really freaking fast. But I've kind of broke it up because, this is my first review since I've been back, my first official review since I've been back from Cincinnati's Oktoberfest. Had a great time down there. Everybody that's on my Facebook page knows that I got to meet, one of my, favorite people in the world, Jim Cook, founder of Sam Adams. But beyond that, went up to my favorite spot, 101 bottles of beer on the wall, up in Kent, and I'm looking through their selection. It wasn't really one of those things that you're just like you step back and be like, wow, they've got tons of new stuff. I don't know what's going on with them because it's just like, nah, really. Um, I even questioned myself today because naturally the place itself has two posts. Normally one at the beginning of the week, one at the end of the week. Maybe Monday or Tuesday, maybe Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday. Of what they have recently got in, but they've only been doing it once a week, and it's really confusing. But anyway, I seen this bottle. I have not had this beer. It looked fairly decent. I got this bottle for $12.99. It is a oak aged Imperial pumpkin, hence oaked, um, aged in oak barrels. And I was just like, wow, okay, well, I've had plenty of pumpkin beer, so let me bust this one up. And I then got home and realized that this is the 2013 edition because it states on the bottle, bottled on 9/18 of 13. So I'm like, ugh, I hate when that freaking happens when you go to the store thinking, hey, this is the new edition, and it's not. But here it is anyway, man. Boom! Look at that. Oak Jacked Imperial Pumpkin. Man, I haven't had this. I do know that, however you want to say it, Unita, I know their beers are pretty good. I've had several of them. I have never had any of their beers that came caged. So therefore, I am kind of excited. I have a Imperial pint glass to put this in because sometimes when you pop this, it comes up really quick. So without further ado, here it goes. Nice smokage, man. There's loads of smoke. I do see some carbonation happening now, so thankfully it did not, kill me coming out the bottle, man. And as always, that is a beautiful, beautiful color. Give it a little bit of a head, kind of taper it off. I don't want too much here, but I'm going to still get quite a bit. Now, here you have it. You can't really see through this. You can see a little bit of my YouTube player right there. But it does. It is really carbonated, man. There is carbonation coming up from the bottom of the glass all over the place. This is a nice, dark, ruby red kind of really dark amber. This is a really dark. Some of the other pumpkin beers that I've had already this year have not been this dark. Look at that nice little off-white frothy head. A little rocky up top. It almost gives off like a yellowish tint, and I would assume I'm going to lend that to the malt color. Hopefully they've actually used real pumpkin in this because I'm getting really sick and tired of these companies that, oh, look, this is a pumpkin. No, it's not pumpkin. It's pumpkin flavored. Um, do 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 do. Pop open the neck of pumpkin and spices, aged in oak barrels, injected. Blah 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 blah. So they say pumpkin and spices. I want to know. I want to know. Do I taste pumpkin in here? Oh, let's go ahead and tip her off a little bit. This glass is getting a little thin. There we go. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. So, without further ado, let's get an aroma up on this, shall we? Oh, very light on the pumpkin spices. They're there. They're definitely there. I'm definitely picking up ginger, nutmeg, a little bit of a like kind of a allspice. But it does. It smells like pumpkin. It really does. More yamish, more pumpkin-esque. Mm. It's almost like you're getting your nose up to the meat of the pumpkin after it's been baked. There is a little bit of like a vanilla aroma in this as well. It could just be weak. This might be a bad bottle because it's already a year old, but let's go ahead and find out, man. Gross. First off, the heat's getting to me because this is a, what I say, 10.31%. They do put the little 3.1 on there. Let's see if the camera's gonna play nice. Yeah, see that? Yeah. So anyway, you do get a little bit of heat on this. There is a little bit of that alcohol heat there. Spices overall are they're very weak. I'm getting more of a malt characteristic than I am. I mean, the pumpkin's there. It's more in an overlay effect. Um, First, I get more of an alcohol warming. Um, that maybe it's due to the carbonation because as it washes over, my palate, I get that warming sensation as it goes back and then down. Um, and then I'm hit with a burst of like a maltiness, like a dark malt, very crackery, very bread crust like a brown bread crust. And then I'm hit with a little bit of like a pumpkin note. Um, then I get upon the spices. It's like you get that ginger, you get that nutmeg, a little bit of allspice kind of thing going on there. Maybe just a tad hint of clove. Um, it is very smooth. I'll give you that. It's nice and smooth, but then you get that heat back as it kind of lingers a little bit. There's a little bit of spices left over. Uh, as a what they call an imperial pumpkin, um, overall, I would assume this could be a really, really good beer. I don't know. Maybe this is just lacking because it's the 2013 edition. I don't know. I have not had the original. But overall, I mean, it's a good beer. I will give it that. It is a good beer. But for the most part, if you see this in the store, dude, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, definitely look down here and check out the dating because 9/18/13 is the date on my bottle. I mean, the bottle's nice, cleaned off. The label looks nice and crisp. It looks like it was just freshly packaged. This bottle has been well taken care of. I mean, when I picked it up yesterday, I thought that this was a, brand spanking new edition, new bottle. I don't know if this comes out again this year, or if this was a once in a lifetime, hey, here it is, or if this is the last run of it. I've never seen it before in my area. Other people may or may not have. Um, I don't know. Ale brewed with pumpkin and spices, but yet it's kind of diminished. I think time could have ruined this beer. Overall, I mean, to me, it's still a decent drinking beer if you like, malty, very light spices. Um, if you don't mind the alcohol heat, um, there's a hint of maybe like a little bit of a woody characteristic. Maybe that's a little bit left over from the spices. Maybe that's brought on by the age of the beer. Um, but overall, as a pumpkin beer, I'm going to have to give this a really low score. I'm going to call this out as a maybe a C plus. Um, there's no way that I'm going to give it a B. I haven't had this fresh, so I don't know. Uh, with that said, hey man, you guys had this. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry for such a long review, but with this beer, I thought it could hold up. I really, really did. Um, but with that said, man, hey man, peace, pros, deuce, and as always, man, don't drink and drive, don't text and drive. You guys will live longer to drink longer, and pros.